Sawasdee krap and welcome to Thailand News Today. A wet old day in many parts of the country. I'm back in Phuket today and certainly it's just rained all day since I got back last night, and there's more expected over the weekend. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, make sure you get alerts, and for those people that have been following us for a while and following the cats, there is one cat right here. We'll see if we can get a photo of Dusty a little bit later. But for now, let's get started with today's news. Well, he was smart enough to get hold of a prison uniform and escape, but he wasn't smart enough to stop being captured. The prisoner who escaped from a Phetchabun prison yesterday, dressed as a prison guard, has been recaught. Police were able to track him down and found him later in the day hiding in an abandoned house in the province's main city district. The 35-year-old was incarcerated on charges over 6 burglary cases. The man told police he decided to escape because he faced a long prison sentence. Seems like a good reason to me. The man has a long track record with similar criminal offences. The man walked out of the prison's front gate yesterday. No one noticed at first and no alarms went off. Surveillance camera footage shows him wearing a prison guard's uniform and was carrying documents, wearing a face mask and a hat. The first round of long-stay tourists on the new special tourist visa are expected to arrive as soon as the start of October. Certainly the TAT and the Sports and Tourism Department are telling hotels and tourism operators to get ready. On the other hand, not much has been said about the hundreds of thousands of foreigners who are already here, many of them trying to figure out how to stay in the country, as the September 26 deadline for the visa amnesty is only a week away. Whilst the country's TAT and the Ministry of Sports and Tourism hammered out the arrangements for the new special tourist visa, the online reception has been, well, less than enthusiastic. Many foreigners hoping to return to Thailand to live or as tourists believe the minimum 90-day stay and the 14-day quarantine when they arrive, plus the need to book only on charter flights, remain overly restrictive. The new long-stay visa, called a special tourist visa, is expected to help boost Thailand's tourism-dependent economy. But many restaurants, hotels, tour companies and attractions that rely on foreign tourists say they can't make a profit again until international tourists are let back in the country without restrictions or 14-day quarantine. Heavy rains expected right around the country over the weekend, mostly as a result of the tropical storm Naul that hit the Vietnamese east coast earlier today. The low-pressure cell, which moved in from the South China Sea, will help intensify the effects of the southwest monsoon in southern Thailand as well. There will probably be lots of rain and increased winds, especially in the northeast of the country, but Naul will be weakened by the time it passes through Laos and reaches the Thai northeast border sometime tomorrow morning. Around the country, Saturday will be the worst, with rains easing during Sunday. Here are the forecasts in your part of Thailand for the weekend. The Thai Prime Minister Prayut is rolling out his biggest weapon, fear, to try and persuade the protesters heading to the Thammasat University campus tomorrow in Bangkok, saying that they should be worried about COVID-19. In a televised address, he asked Thais to unite in ending the COVID-19 crisis before focusing on political issues. PM Prayut has not mentioned COVID as an issue before the other student rallies. The rally's been planned for tomorrow, with student and anti-government groups demanding amendments to the 2017 Thai constitution, dissolution of the parliament, an end to intimidation of government critics, and changes to the role of the Thai head of state. His appeal using COVID-19 as his main argument to stop the rally will probably do little to dampen the enthusiasm of the anti-government groups, but the forecast for a 90% chance of rain around Bangkok tomorrow probably will. Speaking about the planned protest, the PM has continuously said that he wants to avoid violence at all costs. Well, there's going to be no more quarantine for travellers from Thailand into the United Kingdom, with Thailand and Singapore being added to the travel corridor list starting tomorrow. The Thailand Foreign Ministry says this is good news, adding that Thailand's COVID-19 prevention methods have been recognised by other nations. He says several countries have removed Thailand from their so-called watch lists. Israel and Germany have also recently stopped requiring quarantine for travellers coming from Thailand. The UK Department of Transport says travellers need to complete a passenger locator form before entering the UK. A confirmation email must be shown to the border office. Other countries on the travel corridor list include Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam and Malaysia. That's all for Thailand News Today. We can see Dusty down there helping with today's broadcast. Thank you very much, Dusty. You're doing a fantastic job. She couldn't care less. All right, that's all we have for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Have a fantastic weekend, although if you're in Thailand, it's probably going to be wet, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.